Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about gourmand fragrances, but more grown-up, sophisticated gourmands. So sometimes the sweet treats are great and we love them, but sometimes we want a little bit more sophistication to them, a little bit more complexity, not just bam in your face, sugar, candy, that sort of thing. So in light of that, today I'm going to share some grown-up gourmands for you. I hope that you enjoy, but before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to become part of the Weird and Wonderful family. So if you're so inclined, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get into this. So some of these are straight up kind of gourmand or spicy, edible in some way, but not necessarily a true full-on candy cake type gourmand. And this one is no exception. It is Sugar Leather by Unui Nomad. So this has a burnt sugar vibe or like kind of a deep caramel, but to me it comes across honestly more like burnt sugar. There's some cinnamon in here, so you get that gourmand feel with that sugary caramel vibe, but it's paired with leather. There's also amyris and labdanum in this. So you get the leather, but the leather feels just more kind of like earthy. So although it's leather, like sometimes people really shy away from leather. I happen to love leather in fragrance. I don't feel like this is too masculine at all as a leather. Yeah, it smells like burnt sugar. Like, you know how if you take sugar and you get it to that hard crack stage, and then let's say you drizzle it and make a pattern and it forms kind of like this star thing that you place on a dessert. That's the vibe that it gives me. So a little bit of burntness, but that sounds not good. This is really good. And then paired with that leather and some of the balsamic notes that are in this, this is sophisticated gourmand. So sugar mixed with some earthiness, and I just think it's gorgeous. It feels a little bit lacy feeling almost, and it's perfect for this weather, and it feels cozy and edible but sophisticated. So love this one. The next one is an affordable fragrance, and it is called Artisan Ethnique by Lattafa. This fragrance is supposed to be similar to Sugar Addict by Born to Stand Out. This is such a delicious, it's considered an oriental vanilla, but it definitely has gourmand touches in this that feels like a spicy drink or a spicy dessert. It's got rum, cinnamon, and sugar in the opening, caramel, cacao, coffee, and oak moss in the heart, and the base is vanilla, tonka bean, cashmere wood, and labdanum. So this gives me that gourmand feeling again with some sugar, some spices, but there's enough going on there with the cashmere and the oak moss and different things like that, that it feels a little bit more sophisticated than just straight up food. So love this fragrance. It's long lasting, it's cozy, it's delectable, it's addictive, and I just love it. Have you tried this? What do you think of this fragrance? Like it's just to me an easy reach if I want something spicy and sugary. This is such a great one. This next fragrance is sweet, but really classy. Like there's a real classy component to this fragrance. It's Mejana Sin by The Different Company. Now this is a new fragrance company to me. So I wasn't familiar with their fragrances, and there's quite a few that I really enjoy. This one is so gorgeous. It opens with orange blossom. There's neroli in here, so quite a citrus opening. And then in the heart, it has cinnamon, chestnut, orchid, and vanilla. So again, there's some florals in here. The base is vanilla, tonka bean, amber, and sandalwood. So this would be considered more of an oriental vanilla, I would say. But again, you're getting all the spices, all this vanilla. It smells almost like a warm coffee cake or like a chai, but not a latte. So you're getting the spices and kind of a tea-like vibe, but you're not getting the milk or the cream. So this is so beautiful, and it smells, again, there's a delicate component to this where instead of it smelling thick, heavy, cloying, it feels a little bit more airy and spacious. It's absolutely beautiful. It smells very classy and sophisticated, but still gives me that sweet kind of spicy. I think of a chai tea, no milk. I hate saying chai tea. I don't know why, but I feel like I should say chai tea because otherwise chai people, I think latte, but chai means tea from what I understand, so it's redundant. Anyway, moving on. I love this fragrance. Super classy, still gives me a sweet fix, but not too much. This next fragrance, I would consider it kind of a floral gourmand. Actually, a lot of these are kind of like a floral gourmand, but so beautiful. It's Chemin d'Amande by Unui Nomad, and this is primarily almond with vanilla, and there's a little bit of almond blossom in there, which makes a little bit of green, a little bit of floral feel in this. So it's mainly almond and vanilla with a little bit of woodiness. This definitely comes across as food. So the almond is very present, almost smells to me like a halva type, you know, where it's just that almost like almond paste with some added sugar. That's the vibe that this gives me. So again, think warm, cozy, but there's something so sophisticated about this because of the almond blossom and the woody notes. It balances out the composition to give you that food feel, but with a twist of elegance. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, this next fragrance is technically so far from a gourmand, but to me, there's something a little bit gourmand about it, and it is Amarit El Arab Privé Rose by Asdaf. So this is a rose fragrance, most definitely rose, but there's a powdery quality to this, and almost like you take the rose and you dip it in powdered sugar. That's kind of the feel that I get from this. So although it's a rose fragrance, it smells like somehow a powdered sugar dipped rose, and then maybe some clotted cream on the side. So like cream, whipped cream. So it's fluffy. It's definitely rose, like rose centric all the way, but there's something really fluffy about this that is just amazing. But as I wore this, like, so I tried it because I'm like, this to me feels like a rose gourmand. So I had this on. This is really affordable. And then I thought, this needs a little bit more vanilla. So I reached for Eclair by Lattafa. And the combination of these two fragrances was just amazing. Another one that would go really, really well with this is Empire Victor, which is a lemon vanilla. It would pair amazingly with this. But this combination lasted 24 hours on my skin. Of course, it was a skin scent by then. But this is really overpowering. This is like an ice creamy vanilla, a little bit synthetic, feels very ice creamy or cupcakey feeling. I love it. But paired with this, it made this delicious, it added complexity to this, where this is just straight up cake, gourmand, sweet, you know, your typical, like almost a little bit juvenile feeling gourmand. Adding the rose in there elevated this and made it smell so incredibly sophisticated. So I absolutely loved this combination, like so beautiful. So again, thinking about wanting a touch of gourmand, but not wanting to go full on gourmand, this is a great option. Just after trying that combination, I received Acro Crush in PR, which I was really excited about. And this actually is that vibe. This is supposed to be kind of like a high-end pastry store, like a macaron, but in particular a rose macaron. So I happen to love desserts with a little bit of a floral touch in them. I don't know what it is, like if elderflower is used, rose water in desserts. I just love it. Like I just really enjoy the perfumey aspect. Like I've had a lavender macaron, I've had a rose macaron, and so the sweet combined with the floral, I just really enjoy that. So I got this and I wasn't sure what I'd think of it, and at first I was so disappointed because all I smelt was rose and lychee. So there's rose and lychee in here, and it comes across as kind of a tart rose. But as this sits on the skin, it takes about an hour and a half. All of a sudden you're left with more of a macaron feel. Besides the rose and lychee, this has almond, praline, and vanilla. And so as this dries down, the rose stays forever. The lychee kind of backs off, which I'm really glad about. And it feels almost a little bit lemony. So almost like you take a rose macaron and you filled it with kind of an almond cream icing, and then you've drizzled a little bit of lemon icing on top. That's kind of the feel that this gives me in the dry down. And I really, really enjoy it. Now this, I think it sits closer to the skin. I haven't had much time with this. I think it sits closer to the skin. But again, if you like a touch of gourmand, but you still really like the floral, if you like a touch of vanilla in your fragrances, so you're getting a little bit of that gourmand feel, but then more going on, this is a really good option. So yeah, I think it sits closer to the skin, but I didn't spray tons, so I can't wait to give this a really proper wear, but definitely has that high-end bakery feel with a rose-infused macaron, and I love it. So that is it. I don't want to get rid of my gourmands because I absolutely love them. I love the straight up gourmands, but if you're just kind of getting into them, sometimes they can come across as juvenile or too sweet. And so pairing them with a floral, like I did with these two, pairing them together, this is straight up gourmand. This is about like a very sweet, kind of creamy rose fragrance. This is a really great way to introduce yourself to gourmand type fragrances, but still feel like it has a little bit more sophistication. And then of course, these other ones, there's some spicy vanillas or sugary qualities mixed with spice or vanilla or almond or something like that, some woodiness, or like in sugar leather, the sugar combined with the leather, which creates an earthiness. You're getting the gourmand with earthy, or you're getting the gourmand with floral. And that just kind of tempers it down and actually adds sophistication and complexity. So those are some of the ones that I chose. What about you? What are some more sophisticated, grown up type gourmands that maybe are a mixture of gourmand and floral or gourmand and woody? Please leave it in the comments. I would love to know. And other than that, have an amazing week. We'll talk to you soon.